that I prefer to be off of council than on. And even though everybody here is going to say that they want me to be here, but they want me to comply with the way they think, that's my opinion again. Yes, I'll totally admit to I did not have my permit when I put that building up. I did apply for the permit. I did know I was going to be non-conforming. I applied for the appeal at the same time, and I gave an explanation at the time why the urgency in doing so, and I guess I was totally proven wrong because I did take off, well, not only the 15 feet, because of the way the building is designed, I took off 20 feet. Do I feel it was necessary? No, I don't. I invite anybody to come down and have a look and see what safety or other issue there is there, besides the fact of the bylaw states that there's supposed to be a 20-foot setback there, but also in the documentation of the town, it also states that the appeal board has the authority to relax those depending on each individual site. And this here, and I don't have any recollection of this whatsoever, that while serving as a member of the board, that's the Economic Development Board, I gather, passed along, okay, which board is this? The SDAB? Subdivision Appeal. Right, okay, that's okay. I don't have any recollection at all of giving anybody information. So at that one, if you can tell me, I'd have to refresh in my memory someplace there. And the information passed along at the Economic Development Board meeting regarding the contribution to the Vegreville Primary Care Network. That decision was made at an executive meeting, which, to my knowledge, is supposed to be a public meeting. So if that was said at a public meeting, then what is the problem? Yes, it didn't get voted on, but as long as the little time I sat on council, approximately, I would say 99.9% of anything that was passed by council was done at that executive meeting. So, believe that I didn't think there was anything wrong with that, and as a matter of fact, I was even prompted a little bit to say something about the PCN. Let's see. Okay, yes I did. And this one here, I got no problem with saying what it was, but I wasn't, geez, did I do anything about it? Yes, I did call a counselor and I asked just to see what was going to happen there. And the reason, partially for that, I think this is to do with the stop work order that I got in that building. My neighbor was being flooded out, and I wanted to put an eavesdrop up there. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, if that's not the meeting that it was. And I gather, well, the answer I got wasn't the one I wanted to hear naturally. But anyways, so what I did is I put up a little dike along there so she wouldn't get flooded out. On a number of occasions has made comments or statements to the local newspaper. Well, I don't know. I think that anything I've said there, and I haven't said anything, I don't think, but the truth. I don't think I did anything wrong. And this here, Councillor Hayden, in a public council meeting, referred to specific information that had only been previously discussed by council in an in-camera meeting. And I'll have no problem saying it again, because those things were mentioned in public meetings numerous times before. And that is to do with, we'll say, the legal activities of a couple of businesses in town. And did not mention about what they were about, just mentioned the businesses. And all I stated that since I believe that I was businessman-wise, not councilor-wise, is most probably the quickest that this town has ever acted in taking somebody to court. That, I guess the benefit, maybe of it, is that some of these other ones are getting looked at a little bit quicker. Let's see. Okay, and this one here, okay, that I remained in a meeting, okay, I was not once told if it was anything to do with any of the three things that are supposed to be in Canada, legal, land, or labor. And I think that there should be maybe mention of it when that was done at the council meeting, and that it was a legal matter to do with my numbered company I left. Oh, did I miss that one? Okay, Councilor Haydick attempted to obtain information about the operation or administration of the municipality from some staff members other than the CEO or personally designated by the CEO. As a result of these inquiries, it puts the staff in an uncomfortable position. I would like to know who that was, because I'm still puzzled with that one too as well. I mean, puzzled since I just read this. Councilor Haydick, since October 2010, has conducted himself in a manner that does not always consider the welfare and interest of the municipality as a whole. And that one I'll say that's not true. I do have the best interest of the townspeople, taxpayer in mind, and I will still work to my best of my ability for the taxpayer of this town. Well, I don't know, is there anything that I missed here? Number four. Okay, that was maybe a little, if you want to call it ignorance on my part, or if you want to call it lack of knowledge. I had correspondence. The correspondence I had was not to the town. I'll admit that. The correspondence I had was when I got hand delivered to me my papers about the court action. So I, like I said, and actually I think it was Councilor Poroshenko that informed, said that I was out of order, and I believe you said it twice. And then after the mayor said that I was out of order, I think I sat down and didn't pursue it anymore. And yes, I don't think I lied about this. I was a concerned citizen, and I'm also a businessman in this town, and happen to also be a councillor. Now, if that is using my position to talk at a public meeting about my situation, and I talk about other business people. So if that's the case, I was out of order. I brought it up, I gather, at an appropriate time, or whatever. I guess the correspondence was not to the town, the correspondence was to me. And like I said, I think I sat down right after that.
Okay, thank you, Thomas.
That's about all I have to say.
Any further comments?
I'm truly disheartened that that Councillor Haydick has found it, even though he voted for the resolution at our last meeting. I am very disheartened that it's evident to me that he does not understand or does not agree with this. I don't understand why he would have voted for this notice of motion 2 weeks ago. But basically, I'm disheartened by the fact that he has basically gone through this motion, step by step, in the details of this motion, and has stated, except for one or two, one that he couldn't remember and another where he says he did no wrong, is basically supporting every one of these actions that is listed here. And I just find that very disheartening. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know what to think. When these are events, when the NGA and the ethical guidelines are very clear about our behavior as councillors while we're on council, and we have 2 pages, unfortunately, of examples of behavior which clearly contravenes the Municipal Government Act, in particular Article 153, and also contravenes a number of the ethical guidelines. And I mean, I notice that the resolution here is not only that Councillor David be censured by the Council of the Town of Vegreville for those 2 breaches, but also there's, I see a further request to publicly acknowledge his inappropriate conduct and to refrain from repeating such inappropriate conduct in the future discharge of his responsibilities as an elected municipal councillor. I personally doubt that he's going to be able to publicly acknowledge his inappropriate conduct when he has just publicly acknowledged that, in his opinion, his conduct has not been inappropriate. And I also worry, how can it be that he will refrain from repeating this inappropriate conduct when he, in fact, does not even recognize it as so.
That's up to him. Any further discussion?
It's with mixed emotions that I speak to this. But emotions aside, as an elected official of this community, we were elected, I believe, to represent the interests of the entire community. And in my time in this office, I have not seen an individual or a business that has had so much access to this council, the meetings that we hold in these chambers, to the administration and staff. And to be fair, it's a small community, and so there are a lot of opportunities where people would have their business and their personal life and their professional life, in this case, elected life, intermingled. But I've had many constituents speak to me about the inappropriate nature of this transaction, that is unseemly, it's unbecoming of the councillor. And even the idea that we've spent this much time talking about behavior, it's really concerning to me, and that's not what we were elected to do. We were not elected to be trying to curb each other's behaviors or try to justify our actions. We're supposed to be debating and making decisions to run this community. Our job is to govern and to make decisions that will lead this community into the future. And when one of us willingly defies the rules of this municipality, why should any citizen believe that we're acting in an impartial, fair manner? And to be really honest, looking through the ethical guidelines and the MGA with a fine-tooth comb, I'm sure each of us would have things that we need to be more mindful of as well. But I have to say, the fact that we're talking about this over and over again should say something. And I've tried personally to get my point across to Councillor Hyde in these chambers and in our executive meetings as well. For example, the writing of the article, and while you can't control what's written in the paper, the idea of publicly speaking